Well, a good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video, Joshi edition, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, for this episode, I have a Joshi doubleheader review episode for you. Gonna be reviewing Ice Ribbon's Wonderland Ice 2025 show. And then I'm going to switch gears and finish off with Sendai Girls SENJO the Biggest. So, two great shows that happened this past weekend, and I wanted to review them both. So, we're going to start off with Ice Ribbon first. Wonderland Ice, or Ice in Wonderland, whichever you want to call it, took place this past Sunday, August 24th. This was at Korakuen Hall. So, another Korakuen Hall show, which apparently was right after a dojo show. It was like a day after a dojo show for Ice Ribbon. But, you had a good handful of matches, and you had 3 out of the 4 titles defended on this show. But let's go ahead and get started with our first match. Let me get the graphics out. Let's get right into it. Alright, starting off, we had ourselves a tag match where we had the team of Riko and HisokA, which HisokA's from Just Tap Out, and they took on the Hiiro sisters, Mase Hiiro and Moe Hiiro. Not bad for an opening match. I have to say though, so the match lasted a little over 8 minutes. My only thing was, I felt like the girls, the timing was a little off on some of the sequences, but I mean, they're young. I believe HisokA was the most experienced out of that whole group. So, like I said, they're still young. They're still young. They're still pretty inexperienced. But not a bad match. Not a bad match. They just got to continue to work at it. But they got a decent amount of time. A little over 8 minutes. But not bad. Could be better, but I'm not going to be overly critical. These girls are young. And, I felt like they did decent. They just got to work on their timing with some of the sequences. But I felt like they did decent. Moe Hiiro ended up pinning Riko with a cutie special to pick up the victory. The Hiiro sisters are your winners. But not bad. Not bad. Definitely room for improvement, but not bad. Alright. Let's go to our next match. Here we go. So next up, we had a singles match. We had Crea versus Arisa Shinose. I have to say, that was quite an interesting look for Crea. Maybe I missed something, but she came to the ring wearing a Bad Butts t-shirt. So I assume it's safe to say she's now part of Bad Butts with Anncham and Yappy? Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. Came out with a new look and everything. I was just like, huh, okay. I did not expect that. But, guess it is what it is. Match lasted 7 minutes 49 seconds, so not too long of a match. But definitely dig this new look for Crea and her aligning with bad butts. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Definitely did heel tactics and whatnot. But, yeah. I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. You know, are they gonna make bad butts a staple? Hey, I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with it. But Crea ended up pinning Arisa Shinose with a crucifix for the 3 count. So Crea, your winner. But yeah, I can get used to her new look. I can get used to it. Okay, let's go to our next match. Continuing with the singles action. Alrighty, we had a singles match between Kaori Yoneyama and Kirari Wakana with special guest referee Natsuki Tayo from Seedling. Match wasn't too long, but this was another match in Kirari Wakana's trial match series. Match only lasted 5 minutes 49 seconds, so it was a quick one. It was a pretty quick one. And while Kirari definitely, had some pretty good moments, she was not going to best the veteran in any way, shape, or form. Kaori Yoneyama ended up rolling her up with an O'Connor roll and pinning her for the 3 count, getting the victory. She tried to shake Kirari's hand afterwards. She slapped it away and slapped Kaori. She slapped her back, and then, like they were going to brawl for a bit. But, yeah, I guess Kirari wasn't too big of a fan of losing to Kaori Yoneyama, but, hey, it is what it is. And apparently, word is, Kirari's next match in her trial series will be against Haruka Umesaki from the Diana promotion. So that ought to be big, because I believe Haruka just recently won back the WWWD World Championship in Diana from Risa Serra. So pretty big opportunity for Kirari Wakana to see how she does against, well, many may say is the ace of World Women's Wrestling, Diana. Alrighty, let's go into our next match. Now we're going to have some trios action. Check it out. Alright. We had a trios match where we had the trio of Shiori, Akiba, Sumika, Yanagawa, and Kyuuri, which this was Kyuri's 12th anniversary. And they took on the trio of Saran, Makoto, and Kiku. Solid match. A lot of action in this match. And it definitely went the distance. Went almost 16 minutes. So plenty of time. All 6 of these ladies showcased really well. And the action was very continuous. Very enjoyable match. Definitely one of my faves of this card. Definitely delivered. But yeah, it was a great back and forth match. It was good to see Saran back in an Ice Ribbon ring. Of course, we know she's signed to Pro Wrestling Wave, but it was good to see her back in an Ice Ribbon ring. Kiku, hadn't seen Kiku in a hot minute, so it was good to see her. But, and of course, love me some Kyuuri and Sumika Yanagawa. Very action-packed match. But when it was all said and done, Makoto got the submission victory for her team, submitting Kyuuri, got her on a sleeper, and then she kind of transitioned it into a variation camel clutch, and she ended up tapping. So, Makoto, Saran, Kiku, your winners. Makoto with the submission victory. But solid match. Very solid match. Alrighty. Now let's go into our championship matches. First up, we had the FantastICE Championship on the line. As the champion, Akane Fujita ended up defending against Totoro Satsuki. Now, Totoro had Yoneyama in her corner. Akane Fujita ended up having Tsukina Umino in her corner. And this had very unique rules. Like, their corner partners got involved in the match quite a bit. It was definitely back and forth. I enjoyed the match overall. Wish it would have been a little longer. It was only 7 minutes 49 seconds, so it really wasn't as long as I had hoped for it to be. But being that we got to see some action with Tsukina Umino and Yoneyama getting involved, it was pretty even both ways. But I made the best of it for what it was. But Tsukina Umino nailed a drop kick onto Totoro, and then pretty much Akane Fujita pinned her right afterwards for the 3 count. And therefore, Akane Fujita retains the FantastICE Championship. So, yeah, I just felt like the match could have been longer. I really wish the match was longer. But it is what it is. Okay, let's go to this next match, which was definitely my overall favorite match of the whole card. This was my number one of the whole card. Okay, we had the International Ribbon Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champions, Bad Butts, made up of Yappy and Anncham, and they defended against the team of Ibuki Hoshi and Kaho Matsushita. Solid match. Solid match for the tag titles between both of these teams. Lasted a little over 18 and a half minutes. So plenty of time. The action was back and forth, and Crea was in the corner of Bad Butts. And we got to see, some heel tactics, some shenanigans. Got to see the Bad Butts sign get used. And, it was a very action-packed match. I mean, Kaho and Ibuki put up a great fight in this match. Of course, Ibuki Hoshi is a former tag and former Ice Cross Infinity champion, so she's done very well in her Ice Ribbon career. But Bad Butts just turned out to be a little too much, as Yappy ended up pinning Kaho Matsushita after her and Anncham hit pretty much what was equivalent to Aussie Open's Coriolis. They hit that double team finisher. And pin, 1, 2, 3. Bad Butts, still your International Ribbon Tag Team Champions. Like I said, a solid match. My favorite of the whole card. So, great title defense by Bad Butts. And then the main event came down to this last championship match. The Ice Cross Infinity Championship on the line. As the champion, Manami Katsu defended against challenger Misa Kagura. I have to say, both ladies were very well dressed for this match. Had very similar clothing. Match lasted almost 16 minutes. Good back and forth between both these ladies. Not the first time Misa Kagura has challenged for this title. And Manami Katsu's been on a roll. So, definitely main event worthy. Went back and forth between both ladies. And I was really, really on the Misa Kagura hype train. But once again, she came up just a little short. Came up just a little short. Manami Katsu hits a diving elbow drop. And then goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Manami Katsu, still your Ice Cross Infinity champion. Misa Kagura came so close. And great sportsmanship after the match. Manami Katsu showed that she has a lot of respect for Misa Kagura. So, that was great sportsmanship. Good main event. Overall, good main event. Not Ice Ribbon's strongest Korakuen Hall show, that's for sure. But pretty decent. It was decent. You know, like I said, I enjoyed the International Ribbon Tag match. I enjoyed the Trios match. I enjoyed the main event. So, I mean, it was alright, just not their best Korakuen Hall show. So, it is what it is. But, enjoyed it for what it is. And, you know, still continuing to support Ice Ribbon. Okay, now we are gonna switch gears to SENJO the Biggest, which was Sendai Girls' big show that happened this past Sunday. This was at the Zebbio Arena in Sendai, in Sendai, Miyagi, Japan. And I have to say, the attendance pretty dang on good. They had 3,920 in attendance. So, very solid turnout for Sendai Girls. Very cool. So, definitely very awesome. But let's go ahead and let's get into the card. So, let me get my graphics out for this one. All right. Let's get right into it. First up. Okay, we had a tag team match to open up the show. From Stardom, we had Mutual Love. That's Natsupoi and Starlight Kid team up to face the duo of Unagi Sayaka and Yurika Oka. Good match. Good opening match. Definitely. My only thing is, could have been longer. It was only 7 minutes 42 seconds. I wish it was a little bit longer considering the talent that was in this match. But the action was really good. Definitely went back and forth. And, you know, it's been a little while since Starlight Kid and Natsupoi teamed up, so this was pretty cool. But Natsupoi would end up getting the victory for her team as she hit the Fario Gift on Yurika Oka and pinned her for the 3 count. Mutual Love, your winners. Starlight Kid, Natsupoi. But just wish the match could have been longer. So that's my take on that. Okay. Let's go to the next match. And this was actually our first title match. First of 2 title matches on the card. Let's jump right into it. Okay. We had the Sendai Girls World Junior Championship on the line. As the champion, the high kick angel of Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, defended against Yuna. Once again, for the 3rd time, these 2 ladies face each other for this title. Match lasted almost 8.5 minutes. And like I said, both ladies are very familiar with each other by now for obvious reasons. But third time ended up being the charm for Yuna. That's right. She ended up pinning Aya Sakura with a roll-up for the 1-2-3, and Yuna becomes the new Sendai Girls World Junior Champion. So congratulations to Yuna. Although, let's keep it real, Aya Sakura's title reign was very underwhelming. I mean, Yuna was the only person she defended it against. So, kind of a bummer for Aya Sakura, but it is what it is. The title is back in a Sendai Girls ring. And then after the match, as Yuna got on the mic and, said some words, Rion from Stardom, from Empress Nexus Venus, came out and challenged Yuna for the Sendai Girls World Junior Championship. Interesting. Rion with the challenge. So, looks like that may be Yuna's first defense. I can dig it. But yeah, congratulations to Yuna on winning the Sendai Girls World Junior Championship. Okay, let's go to our next match. Alright, we had ourselves a singles match. Super Sasadango Machine versus Jinsei Shinzaki. Now, the match was almost 10 minutes. It was pretty much 1 second shy of 10 minutes. And of course, before anything even happened, Super Sasadango Machine started off with pretty much like a PowerPoint presentation, breaking down the matchup and all sorts of stuff. This was a pretty entertaining match. I mean, it was pretty much a comedy match. Super Sasadango Machine even unmasked, even put a ceramic bowl on his head, mask over top of it. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. Even when Jinsei Shinzaki did the old school walking the ropes and then did the chop, of course you heard his hand because, it had the bowl in his mask. But, it was an entertaining match for what it was. And, I mean, that's just how it is with Super Sasadango Machine. But, overall, it was a comedy match. It did what it was supposed to do. So, no complaints there. Jinsei Shinzaki ends up submitting Super Sasadango Machine with a straight jacket. So, Jinsei wins by submission. But, pretty entertaining match overall. Okay, let's go to our next match. This next match was interesting. So we had, I guess, a 8-person tag match. So on one side we had Kuroshio Tokyo Japan, Raiden Hagane, Kurumi Hiragi, and Yura Suzuki. And they took on the team of Shin Sakura Hirota, which it was good to see her again, Miyuki Takase, Soy, and Senjo Great Canon. That's what it was translated to. This this definitely had its share of comedy in this match, especially from this Senjo Great Canon that was all dressed in white, looked like a monk or a seer or some temple goddess. I don't know what the heck it was portraying, but yeah, match wasn't long. It was 6 minutes, 43 seconds. It had the really long intro, of course, because of Kuroshio, Tokyo, Japan. But the match was weird. Like, I'm not going to say the match was bad, but it was weird. Like, I had all sorts of thoughts, but ultimately weird. Not like DDT weird, but like, this was kind of out of the blue, not something you normally see in Sendai Girls, sort of weird. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about it. I mean, I really don't have that much to say about it. Miyuki Takase pinned Yura Suzuki after hitting a Samoan driver, but I mean, yeah, like, don't really have a lot of words for that match. So yeah, wow. That's all I can say is wow. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the next match. Okay, so with this match, a quick note. This tag match was actually originally supposed to be the second match on the card. It was supposed to be Spike Nishimura, Chi-Chi versus Manami and Sadie Gibbs. Unfortunately, Sadie Gibbs, during her intro, when she was on the turnbuckle, when she jumped down, she landed awkwardly and her knee buckled to the point where she hurt it. And although she was able to walk on her own, she really couldn't go at full speed and pretty much signaled for the ref and for the medical staff, and unfortunately was not able to compete. So they ended up canceling that match as being the second match, but then they went an alternative route. They ended up having the match, and replacing Sadie Gibbs was Yurika Oka. So Yurika Oka ended up pulling double duty. So, not the original match, but they did what they had to do, and at least 3 of the competitors got to compete. Yurika Oka did double duty. Match was short. It was only just under 6 minutes. So, honestly, I felt like it was a filler match, which doesn't really say much. Not a whole lot happened in this match, but Manami ended up pinning Spike Nishimura after hitting the diving splash. So Manami and Yurika Oka pick up the victory. But that wasn't the only victory, as after the match, Spike Nishimura got on the mic and announced that she has committed and signed to Sendai Girls. So, Spike Nishimura, a new member officially of the Sendai Girls roster. Meiko Satomura comes in, gives her her red jacket, and it's official. So, congratulations to Spike Nishimura joining Sendai Girls. I mean, hey, little by little, roster is increasing. I mean, added Miyuki Takase, just added Spike Nishimura. I think there'll be many more, little by little. Little by little. So, congratulations to Spike Nishimura joining the Sendai Girls roster. Okay, let's go into our next match, which this was the match I was looking very forward to, and it delivered. Oh yeah, we had ourselves a hardcore tag team match. Team number 1, Wildheart Hazuki and Risa Sarah taking on the team of the hardcore queen Dash Chizako and the legendary Aja Kong. Match was excellent. Everything that I hoped for. Lasted almost 18 minutes, and it was very chaotic. I mean, we saw all sorts of weapons. Ladders, chairs, mini tables, kendo sticks, barbed wire bats. Like, this was a solid hardcore match. Some great table spots, including dives off the ladder from Hazuki, from Aja Kong, from Dash Chizako. I mean, this was loaded with all sorts of insane spots. Dash did the top rope frog splash, or not top rope, top of the ladder frog splash onto Hazuki outside on a table. Same spot she did to Momo Watanabe, so was really, really loving the action of this match. We even saw a whole bunch of trash bins. You know, Aja Kong usually uses a trash bin. Well, there was a whole bunch of trash bins in this match. And of course, you know, other members ringside had to kind of come in and hold the ladders in place so they wouldn't fall and whatnot during those spots. But this match was very chaotic, was action-packed, very enjoyable from start to finish. Both teams did great, but it would be Dash Chizako that would pick up the victory for her team and getting a little bit of revenge on Hazuki for beating her in a singles hardcore match last time they faced each other. Dash hits a frog splash off the top of a ladder onto Hazuki covered in chairs. Pins her for the 3 count. Dash Chizako, Aja Kong are your winners. Phenomenal match. Was my favorite match of the card. Loved it. Loved it. Alright, let's go to our next match. Shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, we had ourselves a special singles match here. We had the Sun God, the IWGP Women's Champion Sari, taking on Mika Iwata. Good match. Definitely a good match. Unfortunately, it was under 10 minutes. It was 9 minutes, 22 seconds. Wish it could have gone longer because these two are incredible wrestlers. But went back and forth, was definitely hard-hitting. Of course, the forearms, the strikes from Sari against the lightning kicks from Mika Iwata. Very action-packed match from both ladies. Definitely went back and forth. But it would take a wrist clutch Uranagi, because a regular Uranagi didn't put Mika Iwata away. A wrist clutch Uranagi, and then a pin by Sari to put away Mika Iwata. Sari, your winner. And then afterwards, Manami comes out to the ring and challenges Sari. She wants a match with Sari. And apparently, they said the next big Sendai Girl show was going to be September 23rd. I think I heard that correctly. So, that's a match I definitely want to see. Sari versus Manami. I would love to see how much of a fight Manami can put up against Sari. Looking forward to that. That should be a good match. I mean, after all, Manami, just like Sari, was another one that competed in a 5-star Grand Prix. So, hey, I would love to see how both of them do one-on-one against each other. And then the main event of Senjo the Biggest came down to the Sendai Girls World Tag Team Championships on the line as the champions, Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu of Team 200 Kilograms, defending against former tag champs, Vinny and Lena Cross. Of course, Lena Cross, who I just met not too long ago via DPW. Anyway, this was an awesome main event. Shout out to Team 200 Kilograms. I like the ring gear that they came out in. I thought that was really cool. Match went just a little over 19 minutes, so plenty of time. Both these teams looked solid, hard hitting, went at it. Loved the high flying from Vinny, and even got to see Lena Cross do a tope con hilo. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, Lena Cross is 6 feet tall, so she was the tallest one in the match. But yeah, both these teams looked solid, very hard hitting, and ooh, Vinny had her chest lit up. I mean, beat red from all the chops from you and Big Hosh. Like, oh my god, it was crazy. Like, whew. But phenomenal match, definitely main event worthy. But Big Hosh ends up hitting Lena Cross with a last ride power bomb, then pinning her for the 3 count. Team 200 Kilograms retained the Sendai Girls World Tag Team Championships. They got on the mic and were looking for challengers. Mika Iwata comes out, but she doesn't challenge for the tag titles. Oh, no. She wants to challenge Big Hosh for that Sendai Girls World Championship that she's also holding. So, Mika Iwata, she wants the top prize. You know, a title that she's held before, of course. But yeah. So, looks like we may be getting Big Hosh versus Mika Iwata September 23rd, perhaps? And maybe we'll get Rion versus Yuna as well for the Sendai Girls World Junior Championship September 23rd. But Sendai Girls with another great show. Like I said, Zebbio Arena Sendai had an attendance of 3,920 people, so very solid turnout. And yeah, just glad I got a chance to watch it. Of course, you know, shout out to Wrestle Universe. Highly recommend Wrestle Universe. If you love pro wrestling and you want a lot of it, Wrestle Universe, a great investment. But anyway, one other thing I wanted to go ahead and get out of the way. I gotta keep it real with y'all. WWE's Clash in Paris, France. That's this coming Sunday, August 31st. I gotta keep it real with y'all. This card looks like trash. This card looks like trash. I mean, we got Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella for the Women's Intercontinental title, which... Nikki Bella? Really? We got Sheamus versus Rusev in a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, which I don't even know what the heck that means. Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. I guess that'll be... I guess that could be good. Maybe. Hopefully. I don't know. You got a fatal 4-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight versus CM Punk. Meh. And then what could possibly be the main event, John Cena versus Logan Paul. Really? That's your card for Clash in Paris, France? Yeah. I would like to say for all of the French fans or just fans in general that I feel for y'all. Y'all deserve a lot better than what y'all are going to be getting this Sunday. Because that is a trash card. Yeah. That is a trash card, and because it's that trash of a card, I'm not even going to preview it or review it. I'm not even going to watch it. I'm sorry, but for that to be in a whole nother country and is a PLE, that's a trash card. I'm sorry. That's a trash card. Let's keep it real. That's a trash card. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What did y'all think of Ice Ribbon's Wonderland and Ice 2025? What did y'all think of Sendai Girls' Senjo the Biggest show? And are y'all even interested in WWE Clash in Paris, France? Let me know y'all's thoughts. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the Used to the Tube. My name is Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Peace.